Houston, you're on the clock in this series, man. I'm Two Tone Sports. This is a series of me going through and giving every single NFL team their draft grade. Not only giving you mine, but giving you Mel Kiper's and PFF, which both of those articles are paid subscriptions. So you're welcome. So now, since you're here, guys, thank you so much for the support to the channel. Any and all support is appreciated. Don't want to waste your too much time in the intro. Almost slipped up there. So, that being said, let's get into it. The Houston Texans, man, you guys are up, and you guys made a splash early. Came into the draft needing QB, wide receiver, defensive end, guard, and corner. So what'd you do? You got your QB. Second overall pick, CJ Stroud. There was a lot of reports going into this draft that you guys were going to grab Will Anderson Jr. at number 2. I put money on you guys getting CJ Stroud at 2. I had money on it. And what'd you guys do? We'll get there in a second. But 6'3", 214-pound number 2 QB in the draft. Some people saw him as number 1 because of his size. Once again, 6'3". The QB out of Ohio State. Stroud is the best pure pocket passer in the class. Sees the whole field and is decisive, and his timing as a thrower is outstanding. Smooth delivery. There isn't a throw. Wow. He'll need to make that he can't deliver with authority. Unique feel for trajectory, layers the ball beautifully, and has a large catalog of remarkably accurate throws under pressure. Still needs to continue to improve his strength and show more willingness to run the football and extend plays with his feet. Matt Miller's got him the comp of Dak Prescott. Very interesting. Maybe the Dak Prescott of like the beginning years. As of late, Dak ain't looking too shabby, but Dak Prescott, still not a bad pick. Post. Davis Mills finished the 2022 season with the NFL's highest off-target percentage and ranked 29 in QBR. Stroud won't give the Texans an elite runner at QB, but new offensive coordinator and former 49ers pass game coordinator Bobby Slowick worked with a number of different QBs in San Fran and knows how to tailor the Kyle Shanahan offense to whoever's under center. Expect him to lean on Dameon Pierce. I think Stroud's going to come in and do phenomenal. Rookie of the Year candidate. Since trading Deshaun Watson, the Texans have been in search of their signal caller. Stroud's polish and decision-making will translate well to the pro game and provide him an opportunity to have an early impact. This was the pick you guys had to make. This was the absolute pick you guys had to make. This is where shit got interesting. You saw Stroud. You wanted Stroud. But you're also torn on Will Anderson Jr. So, do we draft him at 2? Do we draft Stroud at 2? You guys put your nuts on the table and said, we'll get Stroud at 2 and Anderson at 3, trading with the Cardinals. My gosh. The consensus number 1 overall prospect in this draft. What does that mean? You got number 1 and you got number 3. I'm giving him 3. 6'4", 253 pounds. He's a defensive end because that's what he is. Going to be playing as Will Anderson Jr. Anderson's first step and quick, powerful hands are outstanding. Frequently overpowers blockers with his lower body strength and powerful punch. Pass rusher, he's capable of getting to the QB in a number of ways. Stacks blockers, set hard edges, locates the ball, and quickly disengages the defending in the run. Great range. His comp? His comp is Von Miller, man. If you guys can get Von Miller, that's crazy. Kid is dominant. Kid is absolutely dominant. Post-draft, DeMeco Ryans' defense will be predicated on the pass rush. Anderson was the best rusher and overall player in the class. He'll play the outside, lining up left tackle, where his speed and power will be used in a Nick Bosa-like way, Anderson will have a talented secondary behind him. I love the Jalen Petrie pick. I still do. He's a freaking beast. Okay? He's a tempo and culture setter on defense. Year 1 impact rookie of the year candidate Ryan's a new defensive coordinator Matt Burke will find ways to maximize Anderson's skill set and turn him loose on opposing QBs right out of the gate. You guys are going to come back to this video. Why? Because I'm literally predicting he's going to have 11.5 sacks. Maybe a little low, but he's going 11.5 sacks his first year. Who knows? Then you guys went with a big boy at center with probably the best name in the draft, Juice Scruggs. Damn. Center out of Penn State. Scruggs is a versatile interior offensive lineman who played guard and center at Penn State as a run blocker. He takes sound angles, latches on with his big hands, and seals defenders. He's efficient with his hand placement, and he's tough to move when he drops the anchor in pass pro. Scruggs doesn't mirror well enough to consistently stay in front of mobile nose tackles, but honestly, you don't really see them that often. Post-draft, he's going to be in the middle of Houston's offensive line, which is a great pick. I'm not even going to read the rest of this. Honestly, I like it. They had said he wasn't ranked in the top 100, but center class was running short here. Can't go wrong in grabbing another lineman to protect your brand new QB. You're going to see this as a trend through the video. Big. Not big. Nathaniel Tank Dell. 5'8", 165. Plays bigger than this, to be honest. Dell's a small receiver who has the burst to separate, get out of breaks, shake defenders. Really cool pick for third round, too. Post-draft, Texans leading receiver in 22, Brandon Cooks, was traded. So, then you guys signed Robert Woods and Dalton Schultz. I honestly forgot you guys got Dalton Schultz. That's really cool. Have him in a fantasy dynasty league. So, since the start of 2021, no FBS receiver has more receiving yards, 2,700, or touchdown catches, 29, than Dell. You hope to see this. And you always, that's interesting. You guys also get back John Mechie. So, you're looking at some speedy boys out there. And I like the pick. I like Tank Dell. Then you guys went Dylan Horton, 6'4", 257-pound defensive end out of TCU. Horton's greatest strength is his motor, which you can't teach, man. That means he's got the will. As a run defender, he's his best when he lines up outside the tackle, where he has enough length to keep defenders off his frame and set the edge. Quickness can give interior offensive linemen problems. Once again, I thought this was honestly all right value. If you watch this kid's tape, you'll understand why he went here. I liked it. Not as much as I like this next pick, though. This was a steal for me. 5th round, Henry To'oTo'o, linebacker out of Alabama. Can't go wrong. Okay, 6'1", 227 pounds. You would have liked him to be a little bit heavier, but he plays bigger than that. To'oTo'o's burst, active hands, and ability to locate the ball quickly makes it tougher for blockers to reach him and help mask his lack of ideal size. See? Has good range, and he makes plays from sideline to sideline. He's a reliable tackler, having issues speaking. Maybe I'm having a stroke. Who the hell knows? With good sting. He's an instinctive pass rusher and has the tools to continue to improve in coverage. Once again, this is phenomenal value. I had this kid going in like the 3rd or 4th round. You guys got him in the 5th. Another center. Realistically, one of these guys are going to be playing not at center. They're going to be playing probably guard. But 6'5", Jarrett Patterson out of Notre Dame. Patterson gets set quickly, works his hands inside, and locks out in pass pro. He walls off defenders at the line of scrimmage and at the second level. But he can get top heavy in lunges. Once again, you can't go wrong, Greg. If you get a new QB, you cannot go wrong in adding people to that offensive line. This is another pick where you couldn't really go wrong. 6'2" wide receiver, Xavier Hutchinson. Plucks the ball out of the air, flashes the ability to make the first defender miss, runs hard, finds pockets in zones, and has a toughness to make plays over the middle. I'm going to predict this guy's going to play for you. What's happening with my camera? Why are you guys falling over here? Probably should cut that out. Whatever. It's funny. I'm leaving you guys. You guys can get annoyed at that. Is what it is. It's a 6'2" receiver. You can't go wrong. Once again, adding weapons. Then you got Brandon Hill out of Pittsburgh, safety. This is definitely a probably special teams pick. Hope the kid makes the roster, but he's a little small. See, smaller safety product, hips in range to provide help over the top. He's not beating out Jalen Petrie, to be honest. People thought Petrie was a little small, but whatever. He's an aggressive run defender who flashes good stopping power. Not going to get much deeper into this pick, but this gives my overall grade to you guys as an A-. Why? Well, these first two picks were insane. You arguably got some of the best players in the draft. The trade was crazy. You guys gave away first round pick. I thought Juice Scruggs was a little bit of a reach here. Love the Tank Dell pick. Horton pick was nice. Henry To'oTo'o is going to be a steal, and people are going to remember this pick, okay? This kid's a steal. That's why I'm giving you an A-. Henry To'oTo'o and Tank Dell are the reason that put you over the edge. Plus, you knew who you wanted. You got your QB, and you got your defensive end. Franchises on both sides of the ball. Franchise players on both sides of the ball. You got the A-. Hard for me to give out an A+. Let's throw it over to Mel Kiper. Big Mel. After going a league's worst 11-38-1 over the past 3 seasons. That's a rough record. You guys beat my Chargers. I have to disclose I am a Chargers fan. You guys embarrassed the Chargers a year or two ago? Tough to watch. This draft was Houston's chance to accelerate its rebuild and get the ship righted. Total 12 picks entering day 1. Tied with Vegas. I didn't realize Vegas had that many picks. Were they really going to Trout on Davis Mills in week 1? Sandy prevailed, took Stroud there. The stunner happened right after when you guys traded the number 12 and 33rd, plus a first and third rounders next year. Interesting. You got Will Anderson Jr. giving the team 2 of my top 5 prospects. Normally, I'd say that's amazing for the Texans, but they give up a ton to make it happen. I don't find an issue with that. It all depends on how you guys and how they perform this year. That's a TBD, to be honest. So, see, you guys reached on Drew Scruggs. Dell, I'm a fan out of. See, Tank Dell. People weren't giving Tank Dell enough respect coming into the draft. I was in my mocks. I loved him. Really cool. Give Dell the ball in space and let him score touchdowns. Third day, you guys added back a 2024 third rounder in a deal with Philly, which was nice. Also got Henry To'oTo'o and Xavier Hutchinson. To'oTo'o was phenomenal value. This is another class that will hinge on what happens with the QB. And though I didn't love giving up a future draft capital, I do think Anderson has the all-pro potential. He gave you guys a B. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that one bit, to be honest with you. That's a little harsh there, Mel. I think Mel's getting a little old in the age, you know. He's getting a little senile. I don't agree with the B. I gave you guys an A-, but that's why we do 3 of them. So let's see. A lot of speculation that they would pass on signal caller. The Texans ultimately select the second-ranked QB on PFF Big Board. Earned a 92.2 PFF grade in 21, tying with Bryce Young. And he was the 7th highest graded player at the position this past season. They shocked everyone, moving up to number 3, getting Anderson, who produced a 89.8 in 21 and 83.6 in 22. Racked up 207 pressures in 3 years. Houston lands a top player, but they pay a steep price. Scruggs comes off the board before Ohio State's Luke Whippler, who, if I remember correctly, came off in the 5th or 6th round, produced a 67.5 and a 71.5 PFF grade in each of the past 2 seasons. The 138th ranked player came off the board when there was still plenty of development needed. And he's likely a scheme-dependent player. Interesting. Here's the Tank Dell. What do you have to say about Tank Dell? Recorded 928 receiving yards out of the slot, 10th in the nation, 19 missed tackles. Force is a top 25 mark. He's undersized but creates separation with ease and is extremely difficult to mirror in coverage. Houston adds another dynamic weapon for CJ Stroud. They gave you a B-? What the hell? What do you have to say about Toa? Downfield physical linebacker with a ton of big game experience as a starter at Tennessee and Alabama. Much like Noah Sewell, Toa brings it in the run game, but doesn't always diagnose well in coverage. Physical presence who isn't afraid of anybody. He'll bring solid on-field and intangible value to the Texans team that is trying to change its culture. Come on. I mean, B- is harsh. Yeah, you guys had the Scruggs reach, but they're not going to give you credit on the Tank Dell and Toa picks, which honestly I think was solid. They probably weigh that future first round pick in the trade huge, but to be honest, if you guys get a franchise edge player and a franchise QB, what's that first round pick? I don't know. I'm going to wrap this guys up. I'm clearly having trouble speaking. I don't know what's going on. I just want to say thank you for all the support lately, guys. This is the Houston Texans grade. I'm Two Tone Sports. As always, thank you so much for watching.